and welcome to this chat view with Marilyn Devonish and the English sisters.
Hello, Marilyn.
Hello.
Ladies.
How are you this morning?
I am fantastic, thank you. How are you?
We're very well, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're doing fine. Is that the right way to pronounce your surname?
It is, yes, it's Devonish.
Devonish, right, wow. That's
So
an
Devon
interesting...
with an ISH on the end.
It's a lovely name, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Why, thank you.
Anyway, you are a woman of the world. You're up to so many different things. It's absolutely amazing. You just sent us everything you've been doing, and we have just been saying, wow.
Yeah, it was so much. We thought, wow.
You're a speaker, an author, a TV presenter, you're in magazines all the time. You know, it's just an amazing, amazing stuff that you're up to.
Really, really. So, yeah, it is amazing. So, what's the project you're actually working on now then, Marilyn?
The current project, we've just kind of done the first launch event, doing something called the Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest, where it's bringing together the 3 different components. So kind of looking at how you can get your mindset back on track for 2012 and beyond, looking at what you can do with your physical body, and also this kind of spiritual and more sort of psychic aspects. So I brought together 3 speakers, and we ran the first event on the 10th of December, and we're going to be touching base to see if we maybe do another one for 2012, because it was such good fun.
Wow, that's so lovely to incorporate everything, such a holistic approach.
Absolutely, because I was thinking, what do I want for 2012? And I thought, actually, that's what I really want. I don't want to just work on one aspect of myself. I want the kind of the full range. So we had an amazing lady doing something called Quantum Touch, which is about physical realignment. I had a psychic come along who was kind of giving people readings, and I was doing all the stuff about mindset and focus. So it was amazingly good fun.
Wow. And how did the people respond to this? What kind of response was there?
Oh, we've had some absolutely amazing feedback. I mean, people were choosing what they wanted to work on, but one participant emailed me on the Monday, and we finished the course on the Saturday, to say she'd already had a few cash windfalls, she'd had some really amazing luck. Another guy said his energy has just gone through the roof, and people have just said it's been fantastic, and it's still unfolding, because a lot of what we did was not about just doing immediate stuff in the room. It was about building things forwards so that it continues to evolve. So we've had some really brilliant feedback, which is why, because people were saying, well, when's the next one? And I'm like, well, there isn't a next one, it's a one-off. But, you know, we're going to talk about if there's going to be a next one.
Well, we think, it's a brilliant idea to have a next one, because it's what people are looking for nowadays, I think. You know, they are moving on. They're not just looking for one thing, just to take care of their mind. They do want the whole package sort of thing, which is really the right way to go as well.
Well, I think so. I mean, there's no point just looking after one aspect and just leaving the others behind, like what people have done for so long now. The only real approach to feeling good is to do the whole thing, sort of thing.
Well, that's what I thought, but it was just an experiment, and I literally just woke up one day and thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what happens, and people showed up, which was just amazing. Which was, I guess, validation that people really do want this and they're interested, because I didn't leave myself a long lead time. I just had an intuition that this will be a good thing to do, and with about 10 days notice we pulled it off and had a room full of people, so it was great.
Wow.
Well, that is an achievement, especially nowadays where people are cutting back. Well, you hear that people are cutting back on
yeah, that is an achievement.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That shows a lot of interest.
And it shows that people will actually invest in what's right for them as well, what they feel is right for them at, at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
So I think, I'm going to really be looking at pursuing that one, and we'll do some more work around that. And as usual, my other project is always my fun photo reading.
Yeah.
I love doing that, getting people to look at how to use their mind and their brain and their creativity more effectively. So got a few plans that I'm working on for that as well.
So, and you do speed reading as well, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, photo reading, I guess, is a sort of a different. I guess the objective is very similar.
Right.
Speed reading, I guess, you're going up to speeds of around 600-700 words a minute, and with photo reading we're starting at 25,000 words per minute. So
goodness me! Wow.
Oh my gosh, you're cutting up a bit here, but I think it'll probably be okay afterwards.
Yeah, let's hope you come back to us. Can you still hear us?
I can still hear you, yeah.
Okay. Well, she's getting a bit clearer now.
So photo reading really is the ultimate then. You know, why do speed reading if you can do photo reading? And how does that, is that like a photograph? How does that work? Photo.
It's a bit, I mean, it comes from you're mentally photographing the page, and you've got a book and you're flipping the pages literally at about 1 page per second and doing a mental download. So to photo read a whole book takes about 5 minutes. And then I'm teaching people strategies for being able to remember and recall that information.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Oh, that's incredible.
It's like a bionic mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
Goodness me.
It's like getting superpowers. We must learn.
We must learn. That would be very useful for us. Goodness gracious me. You could read an entire...
Well, I mean, you know, the people that come on these courses then, what do they say to you afterwards? I mean, imagine for students, anybody, anyone studying anything, anyone in the medical field, anyone that has to absorb large amounts of information. It must be amazing.
Oh, it is, and we've had some really, I mean, I had somebody attend the workshop in the summer, and she was studying law, but she was working full-time as well. And she had taken a week off work to study a paper, and she'd failed. And she'd said in the room that she actually went home and cried because she realised she's only got 4 weeks annual leave and loads of papers to write. And within a couple of weeks of completing the photo reading weekend workshop, she had another paper to do. She took no time off work, just did what we talked about in the photo reading class, and she was just a couple of points off getting a first class for that paper. So it really does make a big difference for people.
So it really does work. You know, people hear about this and they often wonder, does it really work?
People don't think it works.
They think, well, will I really retain that information? But they do retain it and they can repeat it.
Absolutely. And I first came across photo reading probably about, 13, 14 years ago. And in those days, they were just tapes. And like most people, you buy a home study course, you get partway through and you just don't finish it. So I never finished it. A couple of years later, I was on my NLP training, and the guy who was running the course, he said that he was reading 20 to 30 books a month. And I was like, I don't read that in a whole year.
Yeah.
And of course, you then say, well, how do you do that? And he says, I photo read. And I realised they had the photo reading tapes in the back of the room. And I thought, well, I've got those at home. And having learned about the mind, the body connection, the capabilities of the mind, the fact that I had an inner mind, an unconscious mind, I just thought I'm going to go home and I'm going to do the tapes with an open mind. Because last time I was very sceptical. I was like, well, that can't possibly work. So I just didn't do it. So I went home, I started just to go through everything, and it took me a couple of weeks just to notice the real changes, but literally once they started coming, it was incredible. And that's when I thought, I've got to be able to go out and show other people how to do this, because at that point I had a certificate from my doctor because my memory was so bad that I had extra time in my accountancy exams. And literally within a couple of weeks, people were coming up to me and saying, God, you've got an amazing memory. How do you do that? So for me, I really knew it worked.
Wow. And imagine the confidence that gives you. For anyone that's, feeling maybe a little bit unsure of themselves, to know that they can do that, I mean, it must make you feel as if you're on top of the world after that. Well, I mean, it's so amazing.
It's really, really amazing. Goodness.
It was definitely life-changing.
I think so.
Yeah.
And would you say this works even like if somebody had, well, of course you've said it does work, like even if somebody has to study something they're not even particularly interested in, because these poor students do have to go through this stuff that they may find boring, and they can still photo read it and absorb.
Yeah, and one of the things I like about photo reading, because it's about active learning, And I had this conversation with my photo reading mastermind group yesterday because somebody was saying they're going to have to go through a maths book, which isn't particularly exciting.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And so, but one of the things about photo reading is you are creating a natural sense of curiosity because you are asking yourself questions. You start off by setting a purpose, and that sets off the part of the brain called the reticular activating system. So your brain then becomes actively engaged and it wants to find the material, and therefore you become curious and you become interested, even if it's not your favourite subject. So that's one of the natural byproducts of photo reading and doing it in that way.
Gosh, so by the end it probably will be your favourite subject.
Goodness me, well, it practically enhances the ability to learn and to love learning photo reading.
Definitely, and I've had people come on the workshops. I mean, I think that the record so far, I think it was 20 years. That's how long she'd had this book that she'd been meaning to read. And so it really does, it gives people, you're right, that love of learning, and people who just say they haven't got time or they don't enjoy reading, it's one of the things that can really change that for them.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, now we're going to go on about this for ages now because, you know, I mean, come on, it's amazing, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it's a bit like NLP teaches you how to run your brain. Well, this teaches you how to absorb photo reading, how to absorb information, you know, in very large quantities and very easily.
And to become curious, which is what is so fascinating. Yeah, to become curious, because I think this probably then turns on into other aspects of your life, doesn't it? I think once you learn how to photo read, can you ever be the same person again?
No.
Even if you look at something else, you're going to absorb it in a different way.
I always say to people, photo reading goes beyond reading. It's almost like reading is, yes, it's like, yeah, that will start there, but literally it opens up so many things for people, as it did with me, because when people look at my biography and they see the number of things that I do,
yeah, it's amazing.
Because I've spent, 8 years working as a management consultant, and that was working in central and local government, doing things like project management, leadership development, you know, so very different from the NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy. And people were saying, well, how do you just switch between those two things? And I think photo reading is one of the things that helped me do that, because it gave me the ability to literally kind of switch into a different gear whenever I needed to. And, you know, so anybody who's done, let's say, Prince 2 project management, they know that's very, very different to hypnosis. Yes, it's photo reading to, and I'm one of the people, I shouldn't really say this, but for anybody who's studying Prince 2, it's kind of intense. You get great big textbooks. I didn't read any of the books before the training because I was busy. And so I had to photo read everything while I was actually studying to do the course. So it started on the Monday, the exam was on the Friday. Everyone else on the course had gone through their notes. They'd done all the sections, they'd done all the pre-test. I had done absolutely nothing. It wasn't intentional. It's just that my schedule was hectic at that time. And so I had no choice, because I tried to read it word for word. And by the Tuesday night, I was realizing I was going to be up until 4 o'clock in the morning, and I wasn't even a third of the way through the book. Right. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to really trust photo reading here and just let it go. Even though it's a very academic subject, I wasn't particularly interested in Prince 2 project management, but I had to have it as part of my management consultancy qualification, and I passed. And for me, that was one of those things. It was really, it's not just about stuff that you love. It's also about how you, but it has changed my life, because it means now that I can, at a moment's notice, go and stand up on stage, deliver a 2, 3, 4 hour presentation without notes, because I've got myself to that stage where I'm working with my brain and mind more effectively. So it's been, as I said, it's been a life-changing. It's a way beyond reading. Creativity, intuition, all of those things really open up.
My God, so the question now is, why isn't this being taught to young children in schools once again? You know, we always come back down to this, because all these amazing skills that we have learned as adults.
Yeah, why
can't young children in schools learn photo reading?
Well, they can. I think it really depends. I know when I first started, I've been teaching photo reading now since 2002. And when I first started, I was very excited. I wrote to loads of schools and loads of colleges and loads of universities, and they all came back saying, we have our own study skills program, thank you very much. And so that was a bit disheartening. And I know when Paul Sheely, the guy who created photo reading, first started teaching it in America, the government closed him down and said only a school can teach reading. And so what the government did is they went in and they validated his processes. So he's now a recognised school in America, and they actually said, this is amazing stuff that you're doing. And I did teach in a school for about 3 years, and I worked with 8-year-olds right through to 16-year-olds, so all of those age groups. And that was really because of a very, very forward-thinking deputy head teacher, because one of his coaches had been on my photo reading workshop. I didn't know this. And she went back to school and said, Barry, you have got to get this woman in. She's doing amazing work. You've got to get her in and see what she can do for the kids. So I went in. I did what was like an X Factor audition. I didn't know it at the time. But I was meeting 200 children in batches of 50. Throughout the day, and then they would vote. Do you like her? Do you want her to come back?
Oh my goodness! Oh, that was revolutionary.
And they all voted yes, bring her back. And I was there for 3 years until Barry Birch is an amazing guy. Until he retired. So it definitely, and you know, some of the results we got there were amazing as well. So it definitely works, and it's just a case of a school being open to, because it's not trying to take away from what people are doing. We all know that traditional learning works. It's just about having an additional tool set, if you like, that will really help people be less stressed.
Yeah, have a different perspective on something as well, seeing it from a different point of view. Seeing the same thing, and like it's a bit like seeing reading in 2-dimensional, seeing it like in 7 dimensions.
Yeah, 3D.
Holistic. You know, once again, it's using the whole mind. It's using the mind in a different way.
It's wonderful.
To what traditional methods do.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it's called. It's called the photo reading whole mind system.
There you go.
Well, it makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. It makes sense that it should be used everywhere, definitely.
Wow, I think.
Well, that's been very, very lovely to know, isn't it? You know, we're gonna have to come on one of your courses.
Yeah, oh, Marilyn, we must come. When we come to London, we're going to fit one of your courses in, because that is a must-do for us.
Yeah, definitely.
It will be lovely to see you both.
Oh, we must come. That will be. Anyway, that was lovely. It was lovely talking to you.
You too.
And have you got any other projects or anything you'd like to share before Christmas? Anything coming up after Christmas?
Well, one of the things that we put together as a result of the Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest is we are launching, and we're just kind of finalising the details today. So we've got the first few people who have already signed up, but we are launching what we call the Power of 3 program. Which is where you get to work with myself, Karina, who was doing the quantum touch body realignment, and also Gina, who was the psychic. And it's a 3-month program to really get people moving into the new year. So I'm going to be doing the mind and the coaching bit. People love the energy work, so I'm going to be doing some Hawaiian huna as part of that, because it's really great for touching energetic ties and moving people along. But again, it's that whole sort of holistic approach to moving into 2012, and really, rather than just saying we're going to set New Year's resolutions, it's like saying, well, let's get all of those aspects sorted out, and we'll support people for 3 months. You know, they'll all get to work with us one-to-one, in person, plus we'll do some Skype and telephone work, and we're also going to have a series of teleseminars that support the program. So that will be launching on Monday officially. It's already been opened up to the people who attended the workshop, so that's the next sort of big project that I'm just going to be getting started on.
So where can people find that? Have you got a website for that?
Actually, it's not on the website, but it's on the Eventbrite page that we use.
Okay, right.
People want to, I'll probably try and get it on the website in the next couple of weeks. Not sure if I'll do it before Christmas.
Okay.
So yeah, if people are interested, they can drop me an email. It's Marilyn, Marilyn, at transformationstm.com, and that's TRANCEFORMATIONSTM, as in trademark, so transformationstm.com. And yeah, people just drop me an email there, and that is the name of the website as well, transformationstm.com, and I can certainly send them details. And if they are Facebook friends, you'll probably see reference to the Eventbrite Mind Body Mind, Body, Spirit Energy Fest on my page as well.
Right.
Energy Fest.
Energy Fest.
That's what we all need for 2012. Energy every day.
Energy Fest.
And it's so lovely that it's a festival of energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Everything is about energy. You know,
It
if
is.
you're lacking in energy, it's very difficult to do anything. So,
It's true.
you know, and I used to be someone who was literally, I would have to sleep 10, 15 hours a day and I would still be tired. And when I realised that I could impact my energy and change my energy, everything changed. And I went from 15 hours a day, I can get by on 1 or 2 hours sleep quite easily. And I can do that for several months in a row. And I've been doing that.
Bionic.
All we can say is you have turned into bionic. Bionic lady, goodness me.
But it was just learning about energy, and I just created some little processes for myself, which literally in the space of a couple of weeks absolutely transformed my energy and the way that I am. And one of the things, when people meet me, one of the things they say is like, "Gosh, you've got amazing energy."
Yeah.
And it just makes me smile because literally before I woke up and I came up with the processes, I was sleeping 10 or 15 hours a day and I was still always tired. So I recognise the importance of energy, and I know that you can actually change your energy.
So that's something you can teach to others, and these little processes.
Yeah.
Well, I just recorded an MP3 because I spoke at the Energy Psychology Conference. They have an annual European conference every year, and I was one of the speakers. And I recorded an MP3 for the people that attended, sharing with them a couple of the processes that I use to create my energy. So that's now on MP3.
Cute.
That's wonderful.
We're already getting energy.
Yeah, we're getting it. Definitely.
I'll email you guys the link. I'll send it over to you.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
thank
we
you
feel
very
great
much.
now, don't we?
Yeah. We've got all your bubbly energy onto us, haven't we?
It's lovely. It is. It's all like a lovely glow around us.
It is.
Okay then, Marilyn, we'll catch up with you soon because you have so much to tell us.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to speak again, definitely.
Oh, it was absolutely, what a wonderful way to start my day. It was really, really amazing speaking to both of you. I love you both, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We love you too.
Yeah, wonderful.
Bye bye.
I think she's
yeah.
yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Lovely talking to you. Bye.
Bye.